constructed over time. They're not just realities, right? They can be adjusted at the very least. Oh boy, I just took a right turn down an alley. Yes, 10 minutes, thank you. Meditation. You might as well get used to this, okay? This is the way my brain works, or fails to. Come on, help me out here. Come on, tribe. Right? Yes, we're figments of Shiva's imagination, if you will, right? Which might help us not to take ourselves quite so seriously. Oh, I was going to say, we build these lives and we walk through them, right? And maybe your life is humming along, and then, oh boy, life's going to throw you that curveball, right? Didn't see it coming. Somebody you love, sick. You yourself, faced with a debilitating illness. Maybe even, the harbinger of death itself, right? Or someone that you trusted absolutely, turned out not to be the person you thought they were, and it breaks your heart. It shatters your being, if you will. Well, at least it shatters the current construction of your being, right? Not you yourself, but this world that you've painted, right? That the stained glass window through which you have viewed the world, right, is shattered. I mean, to me, those are indications of what we're talking about here. That life itself, at some level, might well be illusory. Not in a bad way. It's just that's what we do. We make this meaning, right, to help us get through a day, to help us get through a life. And sometimes, pow, right, here comes the rock. Pew. And what do? I would imagine all of us have been there at one time or another. If not, just stick around. It's going to happen, right? We take those shards of glass and we build a new window, right? We build a new understanding. The illusory nature of life. In his own way, I think Shiva symbolizes time and how time moves forward. The dancing god, the meditating god. Oh, and one of the ways in which he is depicted, one of the things that he does, okay, and this is going to be weird, but go with me, okay? He goes down by the Ganges River, the holiest river in all of India, in fact, the holiest river in all of the world. Some Hindus consider the Ganges River itself to be a goddess, right? I wish we thought of the Hall River over here that way. We might take a little better care of it, right? Because our karma happens to be flowing downstream, right? Just as we're getting the karma from folks uphill. He will go down, and you know what happens on the banks of the Ganges, right? Traditionally in India, that's where they cremate the bodies of the dead, right? And Shiva will go down there, and he's going to dip his hands in those ashes and then smear them all over him and wear it like a mask. Now, what on earth? Crazy God? No, what is he doing there? What is he doing there? Well, for one thing, he's recognizing the reality of death. Talk about a life shatterer, right? I think this is where we started 2 weeks ago. Nobody here gets out alive, right? And we live our lives, we construct them in the face of this, oncoming reality sooner or later, right? There it is. And what he's doing, he's looking at, dead in the eye. And if that story makes you squeamish at all, it is at least in part because of the way that we have constructed death in the West, right? That we're nervous around it. We don't want to spend time with it, right? 3 days, you got to get them buried or burned, right? That's it. That's it, right? But here's this whole other recognition of it. And maybe that has something to do with reincarnation. If you thought you were going to live 1,000 times, maybe there wouldn't be quite so much pressure, right? Yeah. As I said, Hinduism is a patient religion. If you don't get it right this time, it's okay. You're going to get your karma straightened out eventually. It's also, and this is one of the things I really respect, what we might call a universalist religion. Everybody's going to make it. Now, all right, back to Christianity for a moment. Is everybody going to make it to heaven? Hell no. Yeah. No. No. But for the Hindus, some of us are just going to take a little longer than others, right? Maybe a few more hundred lifetimes. Everybody's going to make it. And again, it's not just about the humans. It isn't just about us, right? They look beyond the human race. It's not just us. That's about half of our problem. What's gotten us into this mess is thinking that it's all about us and that we own everything and we can do with it as we will. No, we're a part of that, right? What I do to those creatures, right, to that river, karmically speaking, comes back to me. It comes back to me, right? If I do good, we flourish, right? If I do bad, not good, right? But slowly, surely, everybody, everything, right, is moving, is growing towards a state of perfection and bliss. You gotta love it. You gotta love it. Now, okay. I wish I could talk faster. Well, Vishnu. Quickly, Vishnu. Vishnu is probably going to sound a little more familiar to you because one of the things that Vishnu loves to do is he loves to come to earth. And he's been here many times in many different forms, right? He's come as a human being, in the form of a human being. He's come as a fish. He's come as a wild hog, as a turtle, as a lion, right? And if you think about reincarnation, again, we don't just come back as humans. If you really screw up as a human, you're going to come back as, I don't know. Yeah. Assuming, of course, that humans are a higher life form. I think the dolphins might have a thing or two to say about that. We're only now becoming intelligent enough to actually realize they've been talking about us all this time, those dolphins. And I don't know about you, but it looks like they might be laughing at us too, right? Well, perhaps the most popular form of Vishnu for Hindus, he comes to earth as Krishna. Look up Krishna, okay? Krishna, probably the most popular Hindu god in the West, Krishna, because of the Krishna consciousness movement, the Hare Krishnas. Krishna is a really fascinating figure. I can only tell one story, and I'll have to tell it quickly. I wish I could talk to you about Hanuman the Monkey King. I love Hanuman the Monkey King. He's awesome. But no, Krishna, among other things, he's a flirt. Krishna is a flirt, right? He's this really handsome god, and he loves to flirt with. Well, there's a story in particular where there's this group of cowgirls. Okay, the shepherdesses, if you will, right, who have decided to take a dip, shall we say a skinny dip, in a pond, right? And Krishna, okay, sneaks up and takes their dresses, right, and refuses to give them back until they step out of that pond and salute him in the traditional Hindu fashion, which is not this or that. Right? Yeah, exactly. But this. Now, what in the world is a story like that doing in sacred scripture? It might even seem blasphemous to a Westerner. I don't know. Well, maybe not. If you understand the divine to be truly human, I mean, did Jesus have a girlfriend? Of course not. You can't have the Western God doing that sort of thing, right? Oh, I wish I had another hour. I know I don't, but that says so much about our body image, right? Our sense of ourselves, as sexual beings. it has so much to do with our religion? Well, I think what's happening here is you see a recognition of relationships, the holiness of relationships. And again, think about that for a moment. When you meet somebody else, I bow to the divine. In fact, right now, I do. I bow to the divine in each of you. And I hope to see you next week. Thank you, everybody. I'll be out here.